go. Good morning and welcome to the February 25th, 2025 regularly scheduled meeting of the House Finance Committee. It is 10:32 a.m. Clerk Campbell Crawley, which I will not say fast 5 times in a row. If you would take attendance, please.
Letter first.
Oh, we do the letter first?
Yeah.
Read that in then.
Dated January 30th, 2025. Dear Mr. Clerk, I appoint the following members of the 103rd Legislature to the following standing committees. Finance. Representatives Mark Tisdall, Chair. Steve Frisbee, Vice Chair. Curtis Vanderwall. Sarah Leitner. David Martin. Brian Posthumus. Gregory Alexander. Joseph Aragona. Bill G. Schuette. Jason Hoskins, Minority Vice Chair. Tyrone Carter. Cynthia Neely. Kelly Breen, Stephanie Young, and Veronica Pies. Sincerely, Matt Hall, Speaker of the House, 42nd District.
Very good. And if you would now take attendance.
Chair Tisdall.
Here.
Representatives Frisbee.
Here.
Vanderwall.
Present.
Leitner.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Posthumus.
Here.
Alexander. Aragona.
Here.
Schuette.
Here.
Hoskins.
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Neely.
Here.
Breen. Young.
Here.
Pies.
Present.
Mr. Chair, you have 13 members present. You do have a quorum.
All right, thank you very much. The House Committee on Finance will follow the uniform committee rules stated in Chapter 4 of the House Rules, which were adopted on the House floor. I'm offering a committee rule that I will read in now. At the discretion of the committee chair, a member of the public may address the committee regarding business before the committee. The committee may accept written testimony in lieu of oral testimony. I'll need a motion to move that rule. Vice Chair Frisbee.
Motion to move.
And we'll take a vote on that, please.
On the motion to adopt, Chair Tisdall.
Yes.
Representatives Frisbee.
Yes.
Vanderwall.
Yes.
Leitner.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Posthumus.
Yes.
Alexander. Aragona.
Yes.
Schuette.
Yes.
Hoskins.
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Breen.
Aye.
Young.
Yes.
Pies.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 14 yeas, 0 nays, 0 pass. The motion prevails.
Very good. Motion is adopted. I need a motion to adopt room 521 of the Anderson Office Building on Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. as the normal time and location for the meeting of the House Finance Committee.
So moved.
Vice Chair Frisbee makes that motion. Let's take a vote.
On the motion to adopt, Chair Tisdall.
Yes.
Representatives Frisbee.
Yes.
Vanderwall.
Yes.
Leitner.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Posthumus.
Yes.
Alexander. Aragona.
Yes.
Schuette.
Yes.
Hoskins.
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Neely.
Yes.
Breen.
Breen. Aye.
Young.
Yes.
Pies.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 14 yeas, 0 nays, 0 pass. The motion prevails.
Okay, that vote carries. The date, time, and location has been adopted. We're going to go at ease.
Chair Tisdale is going to address us.
You take the seat.
We'll try and make this quick and not too preachy, but I can't make any guarantees. So thank you all for your attendance today. Real quickly, just want to create a couple of expectations and give you an idea of where I'm coming from on the issues that will be in front of this committee. First, let's start with the room that we're in. If you'll notice, you're all sitting just a little bit higher than the people that will be at this presentation table. Your desk is high, so, and that's by design. That's on purpose, because whoever is here is going to be asking us for something, and it should be an uphill climb for them. We shouldn't be giving anything away, particularly in this committee. And you can see it's also somewhat intimidating in that we're entirely surrounded. So that's by design, that's on purpose. My intention is to start these meetings on time. I have two great committee vice chairs, Vice Chair Frisbee and Vice Chair Hoskins. If you're going to be late, if you're not going to make it, please let one of them know so that when we're calling attention, it can be addressed that you've given prior notice. That's what professionals do. And if you take a look at the group of people in this room, a lot of people with chair, vice chair, other leadership positions, a lot of experience in this room. I think that's a good thing, and we ought to act like we're experienced professionals. When at all possible, we will try and get out the list of bills and bill sponsors to everyone as quickly as possible to everyone. And as much as possible, please get your questions to the bill sponsors before the meeting so they can prepare an answer for you, make sure they have an answer for you. If we're asking questions here that generate a response of, I'll have to get back to you, we're not moving the ball forward. And the net that we're casting out here is the old tax policy. It's local finance, government finance policy, and it's financial services. So we could have a lot in front of us. So let's ask questions of the bill sponsors before the meetings and avoid those answers of, I'll have to get back to you. As much as possible, and as we're going to be doing today, with leadership, caucus leadership permission, I'm going to vote out as many of these bills as possible on the spot. If we have people here today hearing testimony, why would we call back on a clear-cut bill next week when people that heard testimony might not be here to vote? So that's going to be my intention, we're going to move inventory. Bill sponsors, please send a written request and a compelling rationale for why your bill should be considered. If I or my staff has to research why it's important, you might not hear back from us. Real quickly, my staff has passed out, my LD Kevin Rose has passed out. This is Milton Friedman from half a century ago. He won a Nobel Prize for this, if you can believe it, in economics. But there are basically 4 ways to spend money. And what I want to focus on is the first way to spend money is for people to spend their own money on themselves. When you're spending your own money on yourself, there's an interest in thrift and there's an interest in quality. If the marketplace is demanding thrift and quality from the vendors, that's an efficient economic system. The 4th way to spend money is when somebody else is spending money on somebody else. And that's just how government works. We're in that 4th way to spend money. If spending money where there's diminished interest in thrift and diminished interest in quality becomes the accepted norm, then it's a very inefficient economic system. So in general, our goal here is to keep as much money in the pockets of our citizens that already own it as possible. Why? So they can spend their own money on themselves and have the greatest impact on the economy. Another oldie but goodie, this goes back 40 plus years. If you want more of something, you subsidize it. If you want less of something, you tax it. Governor Whitmer understands this entirely. We'll probably hear more on this in the future as well. You want to move more EVs, you subsidize them. Governor Whitmer also understands the value of taxing something in an effort to reduce its usage. So there's nothing new under the sun about this. You get more of what you subsidize, you get less of what you tax. That's it.
Thank you, Vice Chair Frisbee and Chair Tisdall. At the beginning of your presentation, you mentioned that, we have a responsibility here because, the people behind this desk are elevated and they have a responsibility to, basically to the finances a bit of the state. I just wanted to ensure that Rep. Young, Pius, Schutte, and I also had that same responsibility because we're at the lower desk.
The expectations aren't quite as elevated.
Okay, all right, great, thank you. Appreciate that.
We're back to order. House Bills 4025 and 4026, Representatives Paquette and Price. And you have no stakeholders speaking this morning? Very good. Begin at will.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate the beginning there, and actually you took a couple of my lines from me in my testimony today. But I look around, there are a lot of seasoned legislative veterans here, so we don't have to bring you too much up to speed on the history of this. I spoke with Rep. Frisbee on the elevator on the way down. We all voted on this. We are familiar with this process in terms of taxing something, and as you just described, Mr. Chair, if you tax something, you're going to get less of it. So these bills extend the sunset on safety storage items for firearms to December. Pretty prim and proper there, pretty basic. So wanted to say that we want more people to be able to purchase and store their firearms securely, keep them out of the wrong hands, and that's what removing these taxes will hopefully incentivize. And Rep. Price has been a champion on this issue as well. Testimony as well.
Thank you. I'm very grateful when Rep. Paquette came to me asking if I wanted to be involved in extending the sunset. I did champion the bill that created the first requirement that we amend the general sales tax and use tax to reinstate these exemptions back last term. And I agree with the positive impact that we get in extending the sunset. This tax exemption is designed to impact behavior, letting people know, and many gun shops do with a little notice at the counter, that if you make that decision to buy your safe storage devices now, you won't need to pay sales tax. It's a positive way to I don't mean it with a pun, but to remind people, to trigger somebody's response that, yes, I'm buying a weapon. I need to make sure that I am also purchasing what is needed to keep it away from hands, including children who should not have access to it. So by extending the sunset, as long as we are continuing to tell the public that this is an expectation that they have these devices and encourage that good behavior of getting what they need to keep their devices securely locked up from anyone who shouldn't have access.
Okay. Any questions? Oh, you've got them over here. Representative Breen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thanks to the both of you for bringing this forward. I'm a very happy yes. I am just wondering if you know of a way to possibly minimize the impact on the school aid fund. I don't know if there's an answer to that. If so, I'd like to see if there's a way, but I certainly don't want to hold this up.
Yeah, the intent language is there. Obviously, that's flimsy, but it's pretty much we need to backfill it in the general fund, from the general fund down the road.
Thank you.
And we're not talking about huge dollars blowing out the door. This is much more messaging to the customers that this is encouraged purchase.
Yeah, and the physical analysis says around $1 million. what it would be.
Can I add a little bit to that? Yes, we have the fiscal analysis on the general fund. I did ask my staff for some more details on how this will impact school aid. A little over 70% of the sales tax from these goes to the school aid budget. Since the bills would result in about a $1 million less sales tax revenue, the school aid budget in at least 23-24 was $21.5 billion. So it's less than half of a 10,000th of a percent of the budget. So just to give a little context for how small we're talking about and the benefit of encouraging that important behavior of keeping weapons locked away from anyone, especially our children who shouldn't have access to them.
Very good. Representative Leitner?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just curious why we are only going 1 year and not maybe 2, longer, because we can at least go our legislature, you know what I mean, or just removing it altogether.
Yeah, if there's an appetite with our friends in the Senate, with the governor on this, on making it longer or indefinite, following the lead of other states like Texas and Tennessee, I'm on board with that. If you want to offer a floor amendment, anybody like to do that? I'm voting yes.
I would support that as well. I do want to point out one of the side benefits of continuing to do sunsets is giving that perceived urgency on the purchaser that I need to purchase this soon in order to get this benefit, encouraging behavior, and then reminding folks periodically that this is something that the state values and is continuing to make a commitment to. But I would absolutely support removing the sunset altogether if there were an appetite for it.
Okay. Representative Aragona?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks for bringing this forward, guys. I was just wondering, what does someone do? Can you kind of explain the process if they were to, because this bill sunsetted at the end of last year. So what does somebody do if they made a purchase in January or February?
Thanks for being on the same level as us. They would be out of luck. They would be out of luck. Just as within those dates. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay. Anything else? Let me read in a couple of cards here. From Sean Hollahan, in support, not wishing to speak, and Ann Coonan, Michigan League of Public Policy, in support, not wishing to speak. Can I get a motion? And you two stay right there. We're going to go ahead and vote this along. I have a motion from Representative Vanderwall to move House Bill 4025. If you could call the vote, please.
On the motion to report, Chair Tisdall,
Yes.
Representatives Frisbee,
Yes.
Vanderwall,
Yes.
Leitner,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Posthumous,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Aragona,
Yes.
Schutte,
Yes.
Hoskins,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Neely,
Yes.
Breen,
Aye.
Young,
Yes.
Pies.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 15 yeas, 0 nays, 0 pass. The motion prevails.
House Bill 4025 is reported unanimously with recommendations. Recommendation, thank you. House Bill 4026, can I have a motion, please? Representative Neely makes a motion to move House Bill 4026 with recommendation. Please take the vote.
On the motion to report, Chair Tisdall,
Yes.
Representatives Frisbee,
Yes.
Vanderwall,
Yes.
Leitner,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Posthumous,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Aragona,
Yes.
Schutte,
Yes.
Hoskins,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Neely,
Yes.
Breen,
Aye.
Young,
Yes.
Pies.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 15 yeas, 0 nays, 0 pass. The motion prevails.
House Bill 4026 moves unanimously with recommendation. Thank you, everyone. There are no absent members to excuse. We'll call it a day. Meeting adjourned.